If you make this one change to your training, you can make more gains while doing less volume. And that change is simply to have longer rest times. I'm talking 2 to 3 plus minutes. What this does is it allows your muscle to recover between sets so that you can put maximum effort into each set. The last 5 reps before failure build the most muscle, and the closer to failure you get, the more hypertrophy you get. So training very close to failure is ideal. Problem with short rest times is that your muscles aren't recovered enough between sets for you to put maximum effort in. This means that you're so fatigued that you fail several reps short of what you should have been able to do if you had rested longer. So to stimulate the most hypertrophy, each set should be very high quality, close to failure with a pretty heavy weight. So for example, on your first set, you do a bicep curl with 15 kilos for 12 reps, and that's within like 1 or 2 reps of failure. So it's a very hard set. If you rest a minute, you'll probably get like 9 reps on the next set and then like 7 on the next set. So you're capable of doing almost 12 reps on every set, but you don't allow yourself to do that because you're not resting enough. So your performance is ruined. Only the first set is really productive, and the other 2 sets you did where you're already super fatigued were kind of junk volume. Your performance is artificially ruined because of your short rest times. Your muscle was capable of doing more reps with the same weight, but you just didn't rest long enough. So you weren't really going to failure. You were going to premature failure induced by excessive fatigue. But if you rested like 3 minutes after your first set of 12, you get more like 11 or 12 reps and then 10 or 11 reps on the next set. And each of those sets would be higher quality because you're pushing just as hard and you're getting more reps in. This means that there's more tension on the muscle, and tension is the driver of hypertrophy. If there's no tension on the muscle, then it won't grow. So how do you place tension on the muscle? The muscle has to be trying to contract, but it's really struggling to. So it's the last few reps of a set before you reach failure, when you're really trying to squeeze each rep out and the reps are really slowing down. When you don't rest enough, you reach failure quickly, but there's not maximum tension on the muscle due to fatigue. Fatigue makes it very difficult to recruit the high threshold motor units in your muscle, and these are the muscle fibers that have the most potential for hypertrophy. So you need to be fresh and not fatigued and then do a set very close to failure. Those quality sets with heavier weights and reaching almost to failure consistently each set, they're only possible if you rest for longer. And the result of doing higher quality sets is that you don't need as many sets. Each individual set is way more productive, so the number of sets required for hypertrophy goes down. You don't need to do like 20 sets a week. Most of those studies that find that 20 plus sets is best use really short rest times, so those aren't really high quality sets. If they compared 2 groups where one trained to failure for 5 sets per week with 1 minute rests, and one group trained to failure for 5 sets per week with 3 minutes rest, I can almost guarantee the one with the longer rest will see more hypertrophy because each of those sets is just of higher quality. Performance is maintained more across the sets rather than quickly dropping off due to fatigue. If I could change that Todgy video that I made that blew up, then I would. I think the volume in that program is way higher than necessary, especially for beginners. You probably don't need any more than 10 to 15 sets per muscle group per week at most, and I usually do more like 5 to 10 sets per muscle group per week at the moment, and my physique is actually developing faster than before because I'm really focusing on making those sets high quality. Each of them is very close to failure. I'm resting longer, so I'm able to use like the heavier weights and maintain my performance across sets. It's just more productive. I was wasting a lot of time previously doing lots of sets that weren't close to like true failure. It was just for the sake of having a high number of sets because I thought more volume is just better. So key takeaways from this video: each set should be maximum quality. This means a decently heavy weight, very close to failure every time. And ideally you maintain your performance across each set so that each set is maximally stimulating rather than artificially ruining your performance across sets with short rest times. And in order to maintain your performance across sets, you need to rest for longer so that your muscle has time to recover. You shouldn't really need any more than 5 minutes rest between sets. Muscle ATP is fully replenished after about 5 minutes, and any longer than that is just for psychological recovery. For like heavy sets of squats, for example, you might need to get yourself ready to go back under that bar. But for hypertrophy with less psychologically stressful movements, 2 or 3 minutes in between sets is usually plenty. And if you find that your performance is still dropping off quite a bit in between sets, you might need longer rest times, and that's fine. You're not in the gym to complete as many sets as possible in an hour. You're there to stimulate hypertrophy as effectively as possible. Obviously we don't want to spend forever in the gym, so you can reduce the number of sets you do by 1 or more. Each set is going to be much more productive anyway, so you can get away with doing fewer sets and lower volume. You could do the same number of sets as usual with these longer rest times, but obviously you'll be in the gym for much longer, and it's probably not necessary to do that many sets anyway if your sets are super high quality, like I've been talking about in this video. I really suggest you try this out. Do maybe a minute longer rest than you usually would, and you'll probably see that your performance in each set will improve because you're just not as fatigued, and that improved performance should drive hypertrophy. So you're going to make strength gains faster and your muscles are going to grow faster because you're stimulating hypertrophy more effectively in each set. So let me know if you try that out, what your experiences are, especially if you've got plenty of time to be in the gym and you can spend a bit longer in each session. This is definitely worth it to maximize your results. And if you don't have much time in the gym, cut the number of sets down. You might only need like 2 sets per muscle group per session. As long as those sets are really high quality, you're still going to stimulate hypertrophy in that muscle. And by the way, anything beyond 6 sets per muscle group per session is nowhere near as effective as those first 6 sets. So you might be doing like 15 sets for chest on a chest day, for example. Only the first 6 sets are really doing anything. So anything beyond that, you're just wasting time. It's just junk volume. So cut it down to 6 sets at most, make them really high quality, and you'll probably see better progress than before with less volume because the quality of each set is just higher. I'm probably going to be adjusting my Todgy Physique program to be slightly lower volume and really emphasize quality of sets over just the number of sets that you do in a week. If you're looking to seriously get into the gym this year, you can check that out in the description. I guarantee there's a program in there for you. There's loads of different options like 3 days a week, 4 days, 5 days, calisthenics, home workouts in the gym, and lots of advice on there. Check that out if you're interested. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with a friend if you've got a gym bro who thinks that high volume is all that matters. Maybe you can start a discussion. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.